Okay. All right. Well, welcome everyone. It's so wonderful to see all of my peers, all of the wonderful teachers on the coast. And I'm so happy and grateful to be able to share anything I can that will assist you in your teaching process. And of course, we can all share, ideas as well. So I have been teaching since the quarantine started in March. And I was teaching some schools as per teachers requested me just to help them and teach. So I got a little taste of teaching students online, filling them out, seeing what's going on. And so now that I am teaching daily, I just want to share with each one of you some of the ideas I have that might enlighten you and help you through the process as well. Some of these you might already know, which will just enhance that and give you, extra credit for that, so to speak. But things that you're not aware of or you have questions about, I'm more than grateful to help you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you. 1 second. Okay, everyone can see this? Yes, yes? Okay, good. All right, so let me see. Karen, should I hit the little 4 boxes, 5 boxes, and I'll see everyone, or it doesn't much? You can see everyone, correct?
I can see everyone. You're good.
Okay, all right, you let me know if anyone has something to share. All right, so as you know, we're all professional artists in the schools, and we're really glad to be able to bring art to our students. Okay, so I'm going to go here. Let me just make sure I don't do anything. Okay, there's Karen. All right. I'm just gonna go here and I'm gonna, let me see, slide you down. Okay, there. All right, so I have a little training outline for everyone and you can see it there. The instructional design for the virtual classroom, which is a teaching method, effective lesson planning, which now you know we're going to have to shift to a different way of planning our lessons. And of course, mindfulness, which we're all aware of centering and being focused, inclusivity, making sure everybody is a part, and of course, social emotional learning. And then toward the end, I will go over some technology and scheduling with you that should be able to help you out. Okay, moving along here. All right, so instructional design is a method that assists us in teaching, okay? And in lieu of the pandemic, of course, the virtual classrooms, instructional design helps us with redesigning our lesson and teaching practices specific to the current conditions of our student. So basically what that means is this method of teaching, which covers all age groups all the way through college and so forth, is designed specifically depending on the age that you're teaching. So all of you may be in different categories. If we're in elementary school, there is a method that we need to implement in order that our students understand the lesson and the practices that we can implement as teachers that will make sure and ensure them that they understand. And so we'll move forward with showing some ways to do that. Okay, so let's look at some effective lesson planning. First of all, the first box that says living conditions. Okay, so now you know we have to consider the conditions that our students are living in. Prior to that, we did not have to. We were in the classroom, of course, so everyone was pretty equal at their tables and so forth, had their materials and this and that. But now, I've noticed when I'm teaching I see like little children running behind, dogs barking, parents in the kitchen. The student might be in the bed. There are quite a few that are still in the bed, even though they have their materials, they're laying down or they're yawning. Um, some of them are sitting at tables, which, you know, hopefully we recommend, but we can't insist upon it. And so we have to be really sensitive to what are their conditions that they're under. And that way, by doing that and considering that, we can be a little more patient in imparting our lesson. We have to kind of slow down and look at each child and make sure that they are ready. They pretty much stay muted. So I always say, do thumbs up when you're ready. And then that gives me the go ahead that I could go ahead. So please take into consideration the living conditions. If you hear something in the background or you hear them turning around, one little girl, she was so cute. She said, I have to babysit my sister and she just threw up. And, you know, it was just all these things. So we need to really be considerate when you're planning your lesson. Okay, now the age and grade. So depending on what age you're teaching, what grade you're teaching, of course, you already know because you're all professionals, how to approach the grade that you're teaching. Of course, if we're teaching TK, you know, there's a certain way that we're going to have to address the children and make sure they're all focused to the best of our ability. The older the child gets and they have already been in the classroom, it's to our advantage because they have at least been with one another and now they are at home, but they understand the academics and the breakdown of a classroom and teaching. So, you know, my recommendation is, I mean, I use little bears like this for the young ones. And, you know, I try to include things that will capture their attention, just like if they were, you know, watching television. So keep that in mind that you can use different tools. If you're a hat person, you can wear different hats. I know Peter does a lot of different things when he's playing his ukulele. So keep that in mind. All right, now breaking down each step. So when you are preparing your lesson, okay, in the classroom, you have opportunity, you have the whiteboard, you can answer questions, you can, you know, the supplies are limitless, so to speak. You have all these advantages, we have these advantages, but now we have to really be precise when we do our lesson. So here are some ideas that I think would help when you plan your lesson. Okay, it should be simplified and really easy to comprehend, okay? And here are a few examples. Make sure you do your own project ahead of time. So if your project is something like you're going to do a castle or whatever your project is, you need to spread out papers and draw everything in segments. So for example, you would draw maybe the sand at the beach. Then maybe you would add the fish, and then maybe you would add the sun and the environment. However you decide or whatever you decide to teach, you need to take yourself through every process prior to teaching that lesson. And what that does, it's so helpful because number one, it gives us confidence that we can teach the lesson. It also gives us confidence knowing that if the children have a question, which they will, that you can explain it simply. Also, while you're practicing your lesson at home, make sure that you set a timer. Set a timer on your phone or something and go through the procedure of doing your lesson. When you've completed, check your timer. Make sure you're like maybe 40 minutes, no more than 40 minutes. If you, when you're teaching, if you go a minute beyond or a minute below, my classes are usually between 38 and 40 minutes. That's about as long as the children have attention for. So time yourself, and if you're going like 60 minutes, you need to reevaluate your lesson and you need to find out where you can eliminate stages, where they can still have the whole lesson. So this is really, really helpful. And then, like I said, it takes the fear out of it for us, or the, concern that we're going to get confused and caught up, because now we've done it and we're ahead of the game. Okay. Um, Supplies, let's just go down to, so we went over prepare, practice, and repeat, and do that for yourself, and then you'll be able to implement the lesson. Okay, keeping the lesson simple and engaging. Um, Make sure, what I do is in the beginning, before class starts, I get my little mouse and I look at everybody's name. And I want to make sure with the teacher that those are the children's names, because there's a lot of times the children are using their parents' computer. So, it may say Brian, but it's really Amy. So make sure you ask the teacher ahead of time, is there any name I need to know that is not showing? And then she can let you know. You make a little list on the side, set it off to the side, and remember yourself, because you're going to write Brian equals Amy. And then when you get to Brian, you know her name is Amy. This is important because we're reaching out to them online. So we want to make sure we're connecting. We want to connect with each child as much as possible. We want to make a heart connection. If we can make a heart connection, then they can feel it and they can make that connection back to us. And names are really important. If you call their name, then they feel they're included. So keep that in mind as well. And at the beginning, that's what I do. I just go through and say, hi, Amy. Hi, Brian. Hi, Natalia. How's everybody doing? Oh, I'm so happy to be with you today. And look, I even brought my friend Charlie. And, I don't always have Charlie, but the older the classroom, maybe I do something different. But I want them to feel the warmth and the love, and that we're present together, going to have fun. Make sure you let them know you're just playing. We're playing today. Everyone is an artist. We're just going to have fun. And if you draw something different than me, that's really cool, because we're all different. You can no longer expect nor, make or anything the children draw exactly what you're drawing. I drew, castles and everything, and one little boy drew SpongeBob. So, it's like, okay, that's cool. You drew, so you had art. So keep that in mind, all these things. I might be jumping around a little bit, but I just want to make sure that you really engage with the children. It's so important to connect with them. You can even say like, wow, Maya, you have a beautiful bow. Your favorite color is pink. I can see you have pink on. That's really cool. I love pink too. And then what I do, this is just me, but you can do whatever you want. I go, look, I have a pink marker right here, and just anything I can to make a connection. Okay. All right. So we went over set a timer, and you understand your preparation. When you're teaching the lesson, try to go over it again and again while you're teaching. So you say, we're going to make a square. This is going to be a rectangle. And we're going to draw this part first together. No worries. You don't have to look at all this. We're going to take it one step at a time. And it was very successful. My first graders, they just got out of kinder. They drew their castles, and they were beautiful. And so as long as you slow down, explain after you say draw a rectangle, say, so now we are drawing a rectangle. The rectangle is in the middle, and you want to keep saying what you're doing over and over in a loving way and in a kind way, so that they can, because they're listening, and they can hear you, and then it reassures them that they're on the right track. Okay? All right. Now, supplies real quick. So not everyone has everything. One of my classes, they do have watercolor paints, but most students have white paper, crayons, maybe markers, maybe colored pencils, pencil eraser, glue stick, and scissors. Hopefully they have those supplies. And as artists, we can do a lot of things with those supplies. we can really be creative with a little bit. You know, we have done that before as professional artists. So if they don't have crayons and they have colored pencils, that's fine. Oh, that's good. You can use your colored pencils. We want to make sure they have what you're about to teach. So if you're not sure, email the teacher, let her know this, what do your students have. She will know because they have distributed supplies, and parents are bringing supplies, and then she'll tell you what they have, and then you can design your lesson accordingly. Okay, so supplies. All right, so now let's just move on here to mindfulness, inclusivity, and social emotional learning. For me personally, this is the most important part of teaching online. Why? Because we are connecting with our students emotionally. We are connecting with them from a heart space. So let's take mindfulness, okay? Uh, when I sign on and I try to come in early, I do come in early unless I can't get in the link or something, but I come in and then I don't turn my video on right away because I'm early in my voice. So I look and I watch the students and I just see how they're responding to the teacher. What are they doing? Are they stretching? Are they moving around? Do they have their blanket? Are they looking the other way? So that when I get ready to start teaching, I say, well, hello, everyone. How are you? Thank you for inviting Miss Kenji. Can we all give each other a round of applause? I want to try to bring that inclusivity together. And then I see them and I say, let's stretch. Oh, I really need to stretch today. Well, now they're stretching. Let's all take a deep breath. And they do that. And now they perk up. They're a little bit more alert. And, you know, because it's draining. It's really kind of draining for us sometimes. So, you know, it can be draining for the children. So if you keep it kind of jumpy and exciting, have them do some little physical thing. It only takes about 30 seconds of your time. And now, you know, everybody is centered, okay? Inclusivity, inspire each student by consistently ensuring students are engaged in the lesson. Okay, so how do I inspire and make sure they're engaged? Well, I'm watching them. So as I'm drawing, I am watching them. I see that Isaac is not drawing. I see that Minnie is just excited drawing. She just keeps turning on she unmutes herself and keeps telling me how much she loves art. So there's different levels, as we know, even when we're in the classroom, we understand that there's different levels of learning. And with art, we're so lucky because everybody loves art. So that's to our advantage. But if you see a child that's not really doing anything, you don't want to trigger any unnecessary emotion or make them feel bad, because remember, now you're speaking to them in front of everybody. Before, we could go to the desk and say, oh, you know what? Why don't you put a square right there? That might be a nice idea. But now we're talking to everyone at the same time. So we have to be super sensitive. And I might just say, Isaac, may I see your art? Can you hold it up for Miss Kenji? And then he unmutes and says, I don't want to draw anything today. And I go, okay, well, that's perfectly fine, Isaac. But you know what? Maybe next time we get together, you might show Miss Kenji something that you can draw, because I know you're a great artist. And I want to reassure him as much as possible, not taking too much time, because some students require a lot of attention, as you know, and it can take a lot of time from your 40 minutes that you have to do this lesson. So just make him feel like it's okay. You know, it's okay. I mean, everybody has a day. But to be honest with you, by the end of the class, he was holding up his art. He had his art all up to the camera. So he was, it worked that I didn't pressure him, but then it decided himself that he would come forward. That always doesn't happen, but try it, try it. And include everyone. Once again, I'm gonna reiterate, say their name while you're drawing. Oh, okay, that looks great, Brenda. Okay, Janet, I see you. Oh, this is beautiful. And they'll start showing you their work and say, you know what? At the end of the class, we're gonna all share together So hold on with your lesson, keep it down, and try your best to make them feel included, okay? Another thing I do is, and as you prep your lesson, you'll have this time. At the end of the lesson, before they start, when they get ready to color, I don't have to color. So I start going down each row and I see Brenda and I say, Brenda, what's your favorite color? She unmutes, pink. I said, oh, look, I have pink here. That's great. And what are you bringing to the party for everybody to have? Donuts. Oh, we love donuts. Does everybody love donuts? Everybody's thumbs up. Okay, what does that do? That starts to bring everybody together. Even though they're individually sitting in front of their computer, now they're a part of a oneness that we all are celebrating together. So if you can come up with ideas, pretending, magic, inspiration, imagination, remember, if we take our imaginations, just like you said, Karen, I wish I was there. You could be there in your imagination. You could just imagine everything. So even though we're here now in the present, we are also everywhere present. So we're outside that box that they used to talk about. There's no more box, okay? And Erin, you tell me if I'm talking too much or if I'm running over the time. You let me know because I don't have my time.
I think you're doing great, Kenji.
Okay, good. Thanks. Thanks. Just need that. See, I need that reassurance as well as everyone else. So, okay, so that's now we want to move on to social emotional learning. I might have already covered it. Utilizing charged lexicon to trigger positive emotions, which I said. So, you know, oh, your art is beautiful. That looks great. Look at you. And oh, and then you just, you know, you want to give them props. And if somebody raises their hand, they're having a problem, you can address that question. And then the teacher, which is so great, she's there, she's doing the lesson or he's doing the lesson. Like Mr. Cortez, what he did was he had the whiteboard, and as I was drawing, he was drawing so they could see it in both places. And that was really great. So if you're not sure about a student's name, or maybe you can't see everybody in your screen, because that is sometimes an issue, you can see everyone in the corner. In the corner, there'll be a little pop-up that says Janet. They'll say 7 more students. Janet is there. Cameron is there. Mark is there. So even though you can't see them, you can see their names. So you can say, oh, good job, Mark. Okay, Janet, I see you. You're doing a good job too. And you know, you don't have to see everybody to know that they're participating. But just keep that that emotional mindfulness, inclusivity going as much as possible, because those are the tools that are going to make it work. All right, so we'll move forward and I will be glad to answer everybody's question, or we can just share ideas, whatever you have. Okay, so let's go to technology and scheduling. So this is really important because we have all these links, okay? When your teacher sends you the link, if they have not already, or if they're going to, you need to click that link on, make sure you're going somewhere where they are. Because a lot of times you might not be. It might say, cannot open, does not work, it's not going to happen, whatever it says, you know, you're not getting in the classroom. So what you need to do immediately is email the teacher back and say, I'm not getting in the classroom. Can you test it with me now? Or when can you test it? Usually they'll test it with you right away if you're not doing it in their class time. So they say, okay, let's test it. So now you go in, you click. It says, you know, it's going around and around, join, waiting for, okay, now the teacher clicks and now you're together. And you know, everybody can say hi to the teacher. We can say hi. Okay, good. We're all in this together. You know, we can even reassure the teachers and the teachers reassure us. It's all about reassurance. It's all about social emotional connection. I can't say that enough. So now you're in the classroom. Now you know your link works. If your link does not work, there are other ways the teacher can send you a link. So if you are on Google Meets, and you cannot get into the classroom, I have some little videos, and I'm sure maybe Aaron too, that I can send you, that you can send the teachers so they can see exactly what they need to do to get you into Google Meets. If that does not work, they can always send you an invite the day of. So you're signing in, your class starts at 9:15, you're signing in at 9, you can't get in, you can, I got everyone's phone number. I got all my teachers' phone numbers, because what happened was I was emailing, you know, and I was like, oh, they're gonna see the email, they're gonna see it's 9:10, it's 9:11. So I decided, let me get everyone's phone number. So give your number, get their number, and if you're having that difficulty, because it will happen, it could happen, then they will call. You can call them. They'll say yes. I'll say, okay, can you send me a link to join? She'll say, it's there. I'll click it. She said, can you get in? I said, I'm there now. Can you let me in? She's on the phone, and then she lets me in. Okay, and then we can hang up. And I've done that several times. So the most important thing is you have to get in the classroom. Okay. Now, what I did was I made a spreadsheet, and it's so effective. You don't print it out, because if you print it out, you can't click on the links. So you need to leave it in your computer. Put the date of the class that you're teaching and the day. Put the school, so you know, if you've been there before or whatever, and the teacher. If you've never met the teacher, you can always say, let's click on for a minute. I want to just introduce myself. You know, take the edge off of whatever you can to make yourself comfortable and to make them comfortable. The student count is important, because even though all students may not show up every single session, it's good for you to know there's 24 students there. You only see like maybe 10 or 15. So now you can look up higher on your computer and you can see all the other students' names. If you cannot see that, just ask the teacher. She can see everybody, or he can see everybody. And I've done that before. I say, okay, Miss Winkler, is everybody working? She said, yes. Did I forget anybody? I want to make sure I say everyone's name. The minute you speak to the child and the child speaks back to you, they show up in the computer. So you will get a chance to see them when they speak. So that's good too. The time of the class, make sure you put the time. So if your class starts at 9 or 10, you're aware you want to sign in at least 10, 15 minutes early. You can always mute yourself, mute your voice, and then the teacher can see your name there, whatever, but she knows that you're not coming in until it's class time. But at least you've got all that prepared, okay? And then, of course, your links. So go through each one of your classrooms and do a spreadsheet. Save the spreadsheet, and then when it's time for you to teach that class, you won't panic, you won't be looking for the link. You just go to your spreadsheet, you click on the link, and you are in the classroom. You have done all the prep work. Like I said, if you've done all the prep work and you cannot get in, you have their phone number. So you can call them and they will answer, and then you can take it from there. If all that doesn't work, plan B, reschedule. Reschedule their class. I mean, we're home. We can reschedule. Give them another day. If it lands on a holiday, give them another day. They need classes, and we need to help. So keep that in mind, okay? All right, I think we are moving on to the last. I think that's it, yeah. Let me go back here. Okay, all right. So the last little thing I did want to share is I have an acronym. It's PPLAY. It's called PLAY. And is that forward to you? Yes? Okay. It stands for positive, patient, loving, active, and yielding. And I use this to remind myself to stay positive, to stay uplifting, to be patient. You have got to be really, really patient. Fortunately, I'm patient because I'm married, so I'm very patient. Stay calm, okay? Stay calm. It's not the end of, well, I don't want to say it's not the end of the world. Hopefully it's not the end of the world. But if somebody's doing, just stay calm. Tomorrow's another day. You can work it out. Loving, be supportive as much as possible. Make sure you include every child. Don't leave a child out because they'll go, Miss Kenji, you didn't say my name. So you want to be supportive, active, engaging. We talked about how to stay engaging and yielding. I like yielding the most because it allows us to be flexible. And we can be flexible, and that is what I have to share today. So I think, the last thing I wanted to cover is when you are drawing, you will be drawing backwards. Unless you have a camera that you can bring around this way, that you can put your paper underneath and then you're drawing forward. But I use my Mac, so just for an example, I have to lower my Mac. I ask the teacher if she can see everything. She can. And then when I start drawing, I pick it up and I hold it up so everyone can see. I use a marker so they can see well. They use crayons. They use pencils. Let them use pencils. And then, you know what? Charlie comes and goes, Charlie has something to say. It's time to color. And at each one of my classes, which has been about 10, they all go, yay, we get to color, we get to color. So they're all engaged and excited. I say, use any color you want. You can color it any color you want. You can put your sunshine anywhere you want. Give them freedom to do all those things. So hopefully that's helpful, everyone. Anybody has any questions? Or
Kenji, can you, I saw some eyes perking up as soon as they heard you're drawing, they're seeing things backwards. Maybe if you want to talk about a little bit more about how you do that.
Okay.
Even in the preparation part where you have your lesson and you've already, broken it down so people can see
Sure.
the step by step.
Okay.
I mean, obviously this is different for music and dance, but
Right.
specifically for visual arts.
Okay, so let's stick with the castle. I'm sorry, but I threw all my little breakdowns away from the castle. I should have kept it. But let me show you how I do it. It's very easy. So it's like, today we're going to the beach together. One little boy said, are we really going? We're going virtually. We're going to imagine it, okay? So then after I talk to everyone, I lower my camera. I turn my castle upside down, okay? We're artists, we can do it. I set it to the side so they can't see, and I draw upside down. So I'm like, everyone draw a straight line. This is going to be where the sand is. And then I slide the picture over to let them see, and I show them where the sand is, okay? Then I say, I'm not going to draw the whole castle, but I'm just going to show you. We are drawing a rectangle in the middle of the line. Draw your rectangle. Okay, by this time, I see everyone's face. And I can move my thing. Hi, Peter, Nancy, okay, Clarissa, I can see everyone. I can say, you're doing a great job. Thumbs up, everybody. Is everyone ready? Ready. Now you're going to make a smiley face. You have to imagine what these shapes look like to children. Okay? And then I say, you probably are wondering why Miss Kenji is saying make a smiley face in the castle. Well, look right here. We are getting ready to draw the two sides of the castle that look like a smiley face. Okay? So on and on and on, if you do it ahead of time, you're good to go. We're artists. We always think, things that look like things. And shapes, shapes and lines and all that, that's what art is all about. So go through each step that makes you comfortable, build as much as you need to build, and then you're good to go. Any questions that we have?
Kenji, we had a question. Have you ever used two cameras, like a computer and a phone at the same time? You just use your laptop, or you?
I use my Mac specifically for teaching. It works well. When I lower it like I did, I just tap it with my hands. I ask Miss Crinkler or Miss Wayne, Mr. Cortez, can you see this, Miss? He says, I can. I know everybody can. And then I still lift it up, keeping it down, because, if you lift your Mac too much, you might freeze. You got to be a little bit careful when you lower it down, lower it slow. Because you don't want to freeze. Once you freeze, if you really freeze, you have to just sign out. So just, if you freeze a little bit and you see that you've frozen, like you're looking like crazy, then just wait and it'll unfreeze. And then when it unfreeze, you're good to go. And then just hold it up and show everybody. I use my, I painted my nails. You see how beautiful they look. I just show everybody here, we're drawing this, we're drawing that. And now we have drawn this here. You see the windows, we just drew this. Now we're gonna make the brick wall. I let them see it, and then I go forward to show them how to do it. Now, some things are gonna be a little more difficult, so as they're drawing, I'm like, you know what? If yours looks different than mine, that's super cool, because we all do things differently, and it's just so much fun. So inclusivity, keep it going. Keep it happy.
I have a question.
Nancy, yeah.
So you've done videos, right? Video
Yes.
recordings. So when you're teaching now, you do everything live. You don't, have you ever done like a video, pause it, and then talk live to them?
Yeah. No, Nancy, because that's a little difficult, because number one, you have to have the video in one spot and you have to have the classroom in another. And frankly, I'm like here with computers. I still have a little more space to learn something. But if I do a video, which I've done, the teachers before quarantine first started, they put them in their library.
And
So
you're still offering that as a part of your lessons, correct, Kenji?
Yes.
Where you're providing the live classes, and then she's also providing recorded lessons too, Nancy.
Right, because we only get so many lessons with each school. So when that's over, if the teacher needs to pull from another resource for art, then she or he has that resource.
Okay, I was just wondering, because I saw on the Arts for MC website, I saw several of your videos, and I thought, I wonder if that's how you teach and then you talk over it, or, I wasn't sure how you did that.
Yeah, for sure, Nancy. That's a great question. I mean, all questions are great questions at this point. So no, I teach live in the classroom, and I do the videos on the side, and then the teachers store them and can use them when they need to.
Okay.
The benefit of that, Nancy, is they will have seen you. So when you do the video, there's my teacher. There's,
Yeah.
Say Staten. Is that your last name?
Yeah, Staten. Yeah.
Okay, Staten. Yeah, there's Miss Staten. Yay, we could,
Yeah, it gets a little more familiarity, I think, with it. Yeah.
Hi, Kenji. I have a question.
Okay, Peter.
Hi. Where are you?
I don't know.
Okay, there you are. The first thing that you brought up is probably the most important thing that I got, and I have been doing music lessons with some of the teachers. Not so much recently, but anyway, when I did the Zoom thing, as you said, the home environment is everything. Because I saw kids eating cereal, I saw kids going to bed, sleeping. I saw kids just get up and leave. And my observation, and I'd like to hear your thoughts on this, is that when it really stuck, the parent was sitting right with the kid, the child, the student. And making sure that they were engaged with the lesson. And I noticed that a few times that the kids that were really with it had the support. And then question number 2, the environment. If you go into their home, there's going to be 3 or 4 kids at different ages that are maybe watching the screen. So what are your thoughts on that as far as understanding how, I mean, it's not all our responsibility, but it's a factor in how we bring ourselves to it. So I know it's a long question.
No, it's not, Peter. It's not. No question is a bad question at this point. We need all questions. Everything's good. So really quick in a nutshell, I've seen that too. And fortunately, the parents are pretty aware that the child is in class. Well, fortunately, but you're going to see children walking behind, you know, they're not really being distracted or anything. They're just, they're home. They're home. The parents that have sat with the students, with their child, it kind of, be honest with everybody, a little bugs me a little bit. Because they're so overpowering. You know, art is freedom. You know, let freedom ring with art. Art is creative. It's free. It's from the heart. It's like you don't have to worry about anything. If you drew a square and you meant to draw a circle, it's okay. So when the parents are there and they're like, no, did she told you? She told you to draw, you know, and you know, they're like, you know, and then I go, hi, Mom, how are you?
I
And
got you.
I said, this is Miss Kenji, and I'm bold like that, you know,
Sure.
And I'm kind and considerate because I mean that's not my child, you know, and I just say, Mom, I'm sure Manuel can do it himself. Thank you for helping. No, that's so nice of you. But art is pretty simple, Mom. So Emmanuel can do it. Emmanuel, can you do it yourself? You raise your hand if you can. And he goes,
right. Good idea.
Go, okay, Mom, I think he's good. No worries, no worries. And then, you know, she doesn't leave. She did it again. And then I go, come on, Emmanuel, you can do it. I know. I focus on him for a while. So that helps. That helps. But other than that, you have no control. Over their home. You know, one dad, he was caught in the corner. He had on his, you know, his boxers and his t-shirt. He didn't mean to get caught in the corner, you know.
I know.
And in the classroom it started, and I saw him hiding, and then all of a sudden he ran down the hallway. You know, it was so cute. But
great.
I mean, come on, we're all grown. We understand.
One other footnote to it is that, and I don't know where I heard this, but they're encouraging, if this can even happen, they're encouraging for the student to go to some place that is their own or isolated, or maybe not in the kitchen, maybe another space that they could go to. And who knows, I mean, if they have any space at all. But I found the difficulty in, I mean, you can be presenting a great program, but if the kid is nodded off, it's frustrating, don't you think?
Well, no. See, now here once again, Peter, come on, you're grown.
I'm with you.
I'm gonna just, I don't know where.
Let it out, girl.
Here it is.
Let me know.
It's somewhere right here. I'll find it. I have all these papers. Okay, so here it is. Let's go over this one more time. This is key. All right.
Yep. Okay.
We're grown. We have children or we don't have children. We have nieces, nephews. We've had husbands divorced, married again. Whatever. We are grown-ups. We understand conditions better than they do. They're like, they don't even know what a pandemic is. So we can really help them by being patient and understanding. If they have their blanket and they're all wrapped up, you know what? That's a beautiful blanket. It looks comfortable. You look comfortable in your blanket.
Oh, God.
Are you drawing for Miss Kenji? I hope you're drawing for Miss Kenji. Okay? You've got to stay calm.
Right.
Why are we getting upset about their living conditions? Those parents are under so much pressure. I'm sure each one of us know people that are under pressure teaching their children at home. They've never taught them at home before.
Exactly.
So what can we do as professional artists in the schools? We can bring help. We can help through the arts. We can help. We can support. we can nurture, we can love, you know.
Mhm.
And then you know what? Okay, it's 40 minutes. Bye, everybody.
I know.
Quick, leave the meeting. But you
Gotta
know what?
walk
My
away.
teacher emailed me right back. She said, "Oh, Miss Kenji, the students want to know when you're coming back." I'm
Good.
like, in 2 weeks, okay? But they were ready. It was like, you know, they keep asking me, when is Miss Kenji coming back?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I come back, guess what? They won't be wrapped up in that blanket.
Oh, good. Listen, thank you for I know there's other people out there that have questions, but thank you for addressing that.
You're welcome, Peter. I know you're needy.
No, no. I just want to
I'm
know,
just
baby.
kidding. I'm just kidding.
Give me the line.
I'm kidding,
Reality.
Peter.
Reality. Go.
Anybody else? Any more questions? Any comments? Anything that you can lend to help the conversation?
Hey, Kenji, I have a question.
Yes, Cecilia.
How many people are you Zoom teaching at once? Or when you have the live component involved, rather?
I have Monday through Friday, not Wednesday.
Huh?
So Monday, I have so many classes in the school, and then Tuesday, and then not Wednesday, thank goodness, and then Thursday and Friday. So I'm on constantly.
Okay. And then how many, like, what's your largest class that you have on Zoom?
My largest class is 26 students right now.
That sounds like a lot on Zoom. Does it feel like larger than it would be in person? Because 26 is a
No.
lot in person, no?
I've had 34 classes, so 34
okay.
students. No, because for one thing, you know, you don't have to go and set everything up at the tables. You don't have to go to each student and see how they're doing. You don't have to answer all the questions or make sure. You're just right here.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can address everything the way that you're able with the tools that you have.
I'm
Okay.
gonna do a baby hide.
See? See?
Can I make a comment to add to that? Just to
Please.
know what's kind of down the road is that, you know, we have a contract with Salina City Elementary School District, and the conditions of that contract to really push it forward, to make it for them to sign the dotted line, was that they wanted to be able to impact the whole school district. So instead of us just working with a couple of grade levels this year, we're actually working with the entire school, you know, every single school. So that means that there's actually going to be sessions where there'll be maybe 100 students in a class. So I was speaking to a principal yesterday, and a lot of the things that Kenji is saying will still apply. Not every student will be recognized in every class, but we're going to, you know, I think the effort is still to try. And I think that one thing to just remember is that they are so grateful to have art classes. And these are students that are sitting in Zoom, you know, Google Meet. They're pretty much in Google Meet, not in Zoom, for different reasons. And they're just so grateful to have that interaction and to be doing something creative instead of looking at a Duolingo app. Or I see it through my daughter because she's in online classes in 4th grade. So I just know that the numbers may seem really daunting, but like Kenji is saying, we're in this one screen, and those that are going to, you know, those you're going to reach, you're probably going to reach them either in the classroom or online. I mean, it really, you know, we try to make the conditions as good as possible in terms of, you know, do you have enough space? Do you have all your supplies and all of those things? But truly, it's going to be about just the experience that they're going to have, and to have fun and to be creative. And they're going to be grateful. And I'm seeing that through some of the classes that are already happening. So I just kind of wanted to give you that, that preview, because there'll be a lot more students in the classroom, but then you're impacting a lot more students, which is great.
Karen, if you have, you know, say more than 30 or whatever you can handle in a personal way that Kenji taught, you could possibly go with a recorded session and then have the teacher available through the chat and like have them have the students talk to the teacher via the chat, and where they could pause the video and go over some problems.
Right. So that's why for Salina City, there will be two components. They'll have the live and they'll have recorded videos
Yeah.
as a part of each contract.
Yeah.
But the students are required to be online. I mean, it's school. So they're required to be there for the live sessions. And then if a teacher, when the teacher is uploading a recorded video as an assignment and asks them to complete it. So it's pretty much, I mean, to me, it's the same. I don't know if I'm answering your question, but it's the same, but it's also, just so you guys know, it's also learning by doing, because
Right.
and speaking with the principal yesterday, she doesn't even know what her classroom teachers' schedules are, which was a little shocking and crazy to me. But this is because they are all navigating all of this together. So it's I keep thinking of it like we have to like remove our ego and what we expect from the experience, because it's all so new. And it's not only new to you, it's new to the principals and the classroom teachers and especially the students. So.
And Karen, just if I can add a little bit with that, on what you're saying, I'm looking at all of my professional artists in the school peers right now. We've been around a while, we've lived life. We need to draw from that resource, draw from our own experience, what we might have been through ourselves that was a little bit hard to get through, that we got through. It's a different component of understanding right now. If the child's on the floor, I have had them on the floor drawing. I'm glad they're drawing. Just bring what you can, implement what you're able, support what you can. You're only on for 40 minutes or so. Let them feel that energy from you, because you can feel energy from me. I can feel energy from all of you, even though we're not touching. I can feel your energy. So let them feel that good energy, and get yourself out of the norm and bring yourself into a new space. And if there's 200 kids on the computer, that's great, because you know what? You're only one person and you can only do exactly what you're doing. If you did it for one or if you did it for 100, you're still going to do the same thing. And then if you can't say everybody's name because you have 200 students, you know what? Next time around, if our memories are kind of crazy, but if you can remember some of the students you didn't speak to, you can, and it takes a second. Hi, Nancy, how are you? Hi, Clarissa. Hey, Peter. Hi, Aaron. That takes 1 second, and then you're back focused. And I'm here if you want to email me, if you want to talk, if you run into a problem, we can maybe work it out together as teachers. So that's
Thank you. I just want to mention one thing in the chats real quick before we lose anyone from our hour shift. A question was chatted to us. Where can you get a stand for your phone? So one thing that I've watched in some of the videos is they suggest that if you are going to use your phone, to not have it on the same surface as your keyboard or whatever, your mouse, because you'll just end up shaking your phone. So if you put it on a stand off to the side, you can use that. And Karen did chat back, just for everybody knows, that if you need something like a tabletop stand, this is all new, we can help you provide some funding for technical supplies that you need to do this portion of your job. So if you see, Alejandro said Amazon has pretty good affordable tripods.
Yeah, and here's one
Let
here.
us know what you need, and we'll help you out the best way.
This is a small one. The legs let down so you can have it stand up more if you need to have more space. And then you just put your phone in here and you can bend this back and forth and you're good to go. It's right there in front of you. It's very easy. Just
And our next two sessions with Kenton Hoppus and Paul Richmond, we'll be talking a little bit more in depth about some of the technical parts of video recording and editing, and also supplies and things like that. And like Aaron said, you know, we're here as a resource to help you with, you know, I'm actually gonna email Kenji afterwards and ask what that tripod is, so we can make sure we have a list of resources that we can send to you. And as soon as you're, you know, we have a contract for you, we'll be able to put those, that funding as a part of your supply so that you feel supported to get started. So.
On that note, though, things can sometimes take longer, especially technology. So start thinking now, or start practicing now. I mean, Kenji will tell you, if you watch Artist Spotlight, she just did it. She just did a video and has been working with it since, and now she's training us how to do it. So please start thinking about what tech stuff you might need now, because in order to get it by the beginning of October and in time for you to really implement it the way that you need to, we want to make sure that we have as much, you know, shipping and leeway as possible.
And you can always build things up, you know, get books and then get a, you know, I've used a shoebox before. You can put the phone, stick it a little bit on the top of the shoebox, cut a little thing and stick it right there. It'll stay. You know, we're artists, you know. But last thing, if you want to take a photo of this with your, take a photo of this and just have it available for yourself real quick, and utilize it if you,
Put it back up again, Kenji.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oops, I should get behind it. So.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Kenji. If there's no other questions, we are going to wrap up this hour.
Did you feel that?
We will have.
I did.
We
I feel
will
very
have
relaxed.
we will have the recording available, and we'll send it off. If you know, I know people are taking notes, but we are recording it, so we will send it out to all of you. And thank you all so much for taking the time today.
Okay.
Any follow-up questions?
Just one last thing. One last thing. Don't be concerned about how you look, okay? Because some of the teachers, you know, they look pretty wild. They didn't look that way when I was in the classroom. So just don't, you know, comb your hair, brush your teeth, and spread the love, okay? Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Kenji.
Two things before you leave. Sorry. One, Aaron has been emailing about headshots. So taking your photo, we want to be able to make sure all of our teaching artists are featured on our website. And so please respond to that email. We are doing safe social distance headshots here in the office. I'm in the office, there's nobody here, so it's safe. Please respond with a time that works best. And then also, just secondly, yesterday we launched our art auction. And this is not for you to run out and go purchase something, but if you can, please feel free to share it with your community. We opened up our vault of paintings and photos and things that we have, the Arts Council has been holding on to for over 20 years and collecting, and there's some really awesome pieces there. So please go to our website and click through and share with your community. All the monies that we raise from the art auction, it goes to support arts education. So thank you so much, everybody.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Bye, Clarissa.
See you next week, guys. Thank you so much.
It
Bye.
might email,
Bye.
need to email me, no worries.
Bye.
Thank you, Kenji.